Good afternoon, everyone. The play really touched me in a lot of different ways because Ferguson reminded me of what happened in Sherman Park, literally 3 blocks away from my home in 2016 when Seville Smith was shot by a Milwaukee police officer. People flooded into the neighborhood from all parts of Milwaukee, set fires, damaged police cars. A lot of crazy stuff happened. And I can recall coming back to Milwaukee from Chicago, not knowing that these things had happened, turning on the radio, listening to news about the Olympics, and then getting tired of hearing about Michael Phelps, changing the station, and hearing that Milwaukee was on fire, that Sherman Boulevard was closed, that Fond du Lac Avenue was closed. All of the streets that I would normally take to get home were closed. And the first thing that popped in my mind was my wife and daughter. Are they okay? Because this is right by our house. So I called my wife, and I'm like, are you okay? And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, are you okay? Yeah, why? You don't know what's going on? She's like, what do you mean what's going on? I said, turn on the news. So she turns on the news, and I get off the phone, and I'm trying to get back home as quickly as I can. Get back, I can't figure out a way to get back to the house because all of the streets I normally take are closed. Finally make it home, and it's as quiet as a mouse by my house. Literally as quiet as a mouse. Nothing is going on. The next morning I get up that Sunday morning, and I go out to kind of look and see what happened in Sherman Park. And I'm talking to people who are out there with trash bags, brooms, dustpans, cleaning up, taking pictures, talking to people. And over the next week, I continued to do that each day. And what I found was that Ferguson and Milwaukee are just alike. The conditions in Ferguson, the conditions in Milwaukee, for black people, almost exactly the same. And I've told people, I wrote an article about this that I call Evidence of Things Unknown, my reaction to what happened in Sherman Park. And I told them that what I did that no one else did was they actually talked to young black guys. All the reporters who came to Milwaukee from around the world talked to the older neighbors in the neighborhood, talked to the business owners. They talked to everyone except people like Seville Smith and Mike Brown. They were afraid of them. 3 words in this play stood out to me, and I'll remember them for an extended period of time. White, pure, clean. That's how we see white people in our country. And we don't see black people in that way. And the way that we see people, the way that we've been taught to see people, the stereotypes we have of people dictate how we treat people, how we react to people, whether or not we have empathy for people or don't have empathy for people. And as a black man, I'm 52 years old, there have been multiple times in my life that I've been in fear of my life because the police pulled up behind me. I've been pulled over by the police here in Milwaukee. I was pulled over by police officers in Los Angeles when I lived out there. I've had police service weapons pointed in my face. I had an officer ask me once, do you have a death wish? Simply because I made an illegal left turn. He pulled his gun and said, do you have a death wish? So these experiences, the Mike Browns of the world, the deaths of young black men that led to the explosions in Ferguson and Milwaukee and other places throughout history, we have to understand that these are not new things to black people. Ferguson was not new. Ferguson was not a surprise. If you look at all of these incidents that led to civil unrest, whether it was in Ferguson or Baltimore, Milwaukee, wherever, Detroit back in the day, Newark, New Jersey back in the day, they were all a culmination of years, decades, centuries of frustration by blacks based on the conditions they lived under, and police activity was always the spark. We have to understand that the police do not treat black people the way that they treat white people. White people live in the neighborhoods with the white police officers. They're your neighbors. They're your friends. They're your golf partner. They don't live in our neighborhoods. They don't treat us the same. Understand that Ferguson will not be the last Ferguson until we do something about the way police officers, black, white, Latino, Asian, whatever, treat black people. We have to make a change. Thank you.